Hey, good morning, Capricorns. My name is Anne, and welcome to This Old Goat Tarot. If you're new here, this is a Capricorn channel for all placements, sun, moon, and rising. Although occasionally I do readings for the overall collective. I just did a reading for the major transit that we just had on Monday, where we actually had Jupiter moving from Gemini into Cancer, so definitely check that out. I also just did your Capricorn's reading for the full moon in Sag, so I'll pin both of those at the end of this video. But today's reading is for the week ahead for your career and finance. So let's take a look at what Spirit has to say in terms of anything you can expect from Friday the 13th of June all the way into the 19th. Lots happening. The solstice is also on the horizon as well, so I'm curious what we have to learn. I'll do a separate reading for that next week. If anything resonates, I would be very honored for a like and subscribe. Again, take what resonates, leave the rest. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to be pulling an overall oracle card from the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Guidebook. And you actually pulled the fox. All right, I'm going to pull my screen down. Feel free to take in the artistry of the card while I read from the guidebook. All right, thank you for your patience. In this particular deck, the symbol at the top, it represents the suit of Earth. And we are an Earth sign, so I think this is very appropriate. This fox is about being smart, a strong partner or mate, and a wise teacher. The fox is an enchanting creature with plenty of mystique to go around. Fox personalities are skillful in business and also make great teachers. They are quick to learn and adapt well to new situations. Foxes are ideal life partners as they commit to relationships for the long term, and their natural charisma keeps things exciting. Fox energy helps us stay true to the most dear to us. When this card appears, reconnect to those you love. Foxes don't do well when they slip away. When in balance, that's magical, ingenious, a teacher, monogamous. When out of balance, sneaky, unsure of their identity. So to bring it back into balance is about partnership and connection. So I think there is a little bit of residual energy coming off of that major transit of Jupiter moving into the sign of into the sign of Cancer, and it is in our house of partnerships, connection. Jupiter wants to bring some sort of expansion there, and so this card was stating that there's some sort of energy in our field right now that you're bringing to this table today, Capricorn, about love, about connection, about seeking that. And even though this is a career and finance reading, it could also mean about some sort of connection at work. The people that you trust, is there any loyalties that you have? Or are you seeking that loyalty? There's something I'm also sensing that might be a change or something new, very positive that's coming. This yellow, background on this card is telling me that it's almost like a sunrise, a new beginning, something that wants to come through for us. And this fox is very clever, very smart. He is there. He's inquisitive, he's curious. So what's happening in your job? Is there a new relationship coming in? Sometimes we have work wives or work husbands, if you will. I don't know if that's true for you, but perhaps there's going to be a new partner that's coming on your team. Or even if you're not in a traditional corporate job, if whatever work situation you have, there might be someone else involved that you're gonna build that bond, that loyalty with. It's kind of like you've got each other's back, and that's a very positive thing. I think it's very cliche to say that, it always feels like you're around people who want to backstab. Trust me, I have lived the corporate life. I've been in that that horrible space, if you will. And at the same time, I also know that there were people that were definitely there for me, who were looking out for me from higher places, from lower places, from places just right by my side. And oftentimes I saw it too late. So open your eyes and really lean on those around you, build those connections, build that loyalty, grab the cup of coffee, have the lunch, go to happy hour for once, whatever that is. That's what I'm hearing Spirit say, that there's something there about going to happy hour. Even if you don't drink, just being around other people and knowing them on a more human level, as opposed to just, the data scientist, or just, the salesperson, whoever that is in your community. You're going to need them and they're going to need you. And I think it's very reciprocal. It's very positive energy. So let's go ahead and see what the tarot has to say today. All right, let's look at your recent energy. We have the Ten of Cups. Current energy, we have the Ace of Wands in reverse. And we also have the King of Swords in reverse for potential outcome. Bottom of the deck, we have the Page of Swords in reverse. Okay. All right. So, interesting energy on my table today. A lot of mixed bags here. We have water, we've got fire, we've got air energy. And we also have swords again as air. This is the Page of Swords in reverse. So let's talk about the bottom of the deck again. This is also another message that I'm hearing. This energy about pages in the tarot for me is always the inner child. Something that we're curious about. To me, this card is always reading of wanting to learn something, is going to have some sort of download, some sort of connection with your higher self that wants to come through learning. And learning doesn't have to be traditionally taking, going back to school. It could be, just a podcast that you're committed to, or reading a book, something that inspires you, something that's exciting, something that deals with the mind. And it appears as if maybe our inspiration has been at a standstill for a little while. And I know for myself, when I don't have something that inspires me, I feel very, very tired. It makes me very drained, and I can often lead to burnout very quickly if I don't have something that's motivating. And trust me, I get it. Work is work. It can be very draining. It can be, maybe you're in a burnout state where you don't have a project that is exciting at all, right? And maybe that's what you're going through. And I think Spirit is saying that you're not in it alone. There's someone else there. And this energy, this creative spirit, this fox energy that you have inside of you, this cleverness, this intellectual curiosity, it's like you're sort of just very much stalled out by the project itself. Okay. Maybe if this reading is about your own business, maybe you're in the slog where it's like the tedious part about getting started. It's not exciting. All the dreams that you had at night where you were like, I'm gonna start this business, and now you're filling out forms to get a license to sell at the farmer's market. Or perhaps it is a long haul just to get the zoning right to reconfigure some place that you're leasing. Or you're trying to make sense of how to set up a website. The slog, it's not inspiring. It doesn't spin your wheels. It doesn't get you excited. Spirit is saying here, whichever of those are true for you, what Spirit is saying is that you really need to lean on those around you for the inspiration. The work itself is not going to be exciting right now. What's going to keep you going, what's going to get you through it, is this connection to someone else. They're going to pull you along. I don't like the term accountability partner, because I feel like that is it's putting ourselves in a position where we're out the gate telling ourselves that we're not worthy of whatever it is that we're pursuing, because we need some sort of accountability that we can't do it ourselves. And I think that there is some value in having someone there with you, by your side, going through the slog with you, which is very different than an accountability partner. Now, this is in the context of spirituality. I think that the concept of an accountability partner, I want to be clear, can be very positive in other dimensions or other contexts. But for what I'm talking about today, I don't want to use that term. But what I'm really saying is that someone who is willing to stand by your side through the thick and thin, who also is going through it. This connection is going to be the way that you'll get through it. Okay. So yes, Capricorn, I hear you. It feels as if there's this 10 of Cups, which is something that's very emotionally fulfilling. It involves a family. It involves this is water energy, emotion. To me, this is really saying, this is recent past as well. I think this is more like a forecast, because we just had Jupiter enter the sign of Cancer. Cancer is the big emotional sign. It is our opposite sign of the zodiac. It's a water sign. It's very different than what we're used to in terms of our structured lives that Capricorns are so known for. Famously or infamously. And so I think that this is a forecast that beautiful times are ahead. All of this beautiful, I'm just getting Jupiter energy with this beautiful rainbow coming down here. It just happened a few days ago. So it's sort of like the transit happened, but the residual effects of this beauty here is going to be coming. And maybe that's ultimately why, is like our personal lives. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, it is the summertime. Having to sit in front of a computer for days on end when it's beautiful outside is just it can be very low vibrational energy. It doesn't feel real. So there, I'm also sensing a little bit of that. But let's get additional clarity from the Rider-Waite. Why is the 10 of Cups here in recent past for career and energy, career and money reading for Capricorn today? I usually do 3 shuffles and see what comes out. Anything else? Okay, actually, got quite a bit of messages already. There was a flipper in here. Let's see. Somebody wanted to come out. Who wanted to come out? Who didn't pop out here? Oh, there you are, hiding. King of Pentacles. In reverse, I have gotten the King of Pentacles in almost every reading that I have done with the tarot for the last 3 weeks, and it's becoming interesting at this point. All right. Let's see. Bottom of the deck, we have Death. Okay. So something is coming to an end. Major Arcana. And I think that if there was something that was a hardship, Spirit is saying that happier days lie ahead. If you went through a particularly trying situation of work, I think that that's done. This King of Pentacles in reverse again. Spirit is saying that there's something that may have rocked your financial world a little bit, but it's not. To me, I'm not sensing that this was catastrophic. This did hit perhaps investments, your 401k, maybe a pension, something there you maybe had to tap into. The stock market has been up and down lately, so to me, it senses it's fleeting energy. It doesn't feel like it's around for the long haul, but you put yourself first. So to me, there was a decision that you made that allowed this happiness and fulfillment, this inner knowing that came through. And in order to do that, it upset some people in your lives. Somebody didn't feel good about whatever decision that you made, but in the end, you had to put yourself first. So I do think that there was something to do. Maybe you did quit your job, or you took a reduction in hours, you took a pay cut. Whatever that is, it impacted your financial well-being, but again, not catastrophic. there was somebody in your community, maybe it was family that you consulted with, they weren't feeling it, they weren't feeling your decision, but you knew you had to do what was right for you. And ultimately, this death energy, there was an ending here. So whatever trying situation that you were going through, you're over the hump of it, okay? So the decision was made, you took the inspired action, and ultimately it did lead to this 10 of cups. And this energy is still here. Again, I'm sensing that this is not fleeting. You're gonna still be gaining this. Perhaps you have more hours back in your day to spend with your fur babies, with your human babies, with your spouse, your significant other, or just even for yourself and your own creative pursuits. But you did this for yourself, and that took a lot of courage. You had to really tap into yourself. But we've got this Eight of Wands in reverse. I want to know more about this. This is interesting to me. Why do we have this Ace of Wands in reverse here in the current energy? Is there some sort of lingering doubt? Is there a regret here? I don't think so, because we do have some happiness that was real that you're still feeling. Why is the Ace of Wands here in reverse? Any additional messages for the Capricorns? Okay. We've got Seven of Wands in reverse. So Seven of Wands energy is fire. It's in reverse, bottom of the deck. To me, this is about defending something or building something that you have to defend. Along here, we have the Page of Pentacles in reverse. And we've got the Page of Wands in reverse. Wow, we've got a lot of pages here today, all in reverse. We have the Page of Swords in reverse. Again, I feel like some sort of something that is that drained your inspiration and your motivation. There was something here about some sort of passion that you had that had to take a back seat. This Page of Pentacles, you thought was going to give you money. It didn't. And it's kind of like now I'm sensing regret, something that you've done maybe at work that you regret. So maybe you were bold and you put yourself out there, and this Ace of Wands to me is like, this is a divine gift that came through, and it's almost like it was you missed a cue here. There was something that, but it doesn't mean it's completely gone. It's almost like there was something that you did in recent past that's giving you fulfillment. But in the work life, I'm sensing that there's a regret. And is it your regret or is it someone else's regret? This is interesting because this Ace of Wands is to me about, in the upright position, it's about it's heavy fire energy. It's passion. It's something that you fully love. You're fully immersed in. It's in reverse, and I'm wondering if whatever death that happened here, maybe we had some sort of expectation that immediately we would feel this rush of this rushed inspiration and motivation. And now it's like, instead of having that, you're happy, the immediate toxicity of whatever happened when there was a death. However, and it did involve your finances, but there's some sort of regret in the sense that you're not getting the inspiration that you had, say, a month ago, 2 months ago, whenever you were considering taking this action, and you actually had the courage and you ran towards it and you took the action. Maybe you signed up for a project and it ended up being not what you thought it was going to be, or you did quit the job, or again, I'm sensing if you have your own business, you're in the slog of setting things up. All of that passion, that energy that you had originally of looking at things like an eye of a child where, oh, I'm going to make money and this, I'm going to have multiple streams of passive income. It's just not there yet. And, oh, this is going to be something so fun. This isn't going to feel like work. Well, guess what? It feels like work right now. And this passion now is waning. And now it's like you're on this verge of regrets. Okay. So this can be hard, Capricorn, where, it takes a long time for us to get to a space where we have the courage and strength to go after those dreams, those wishes, the things that motivate us, and then we actually do it. And maybe we were running away from something, and yes, whatever challenging situation that we had, it's over, and we're feeling that sense of relief. But now it's like, well, what's next? We're the honeymoon of taking the action, of doing the big thing that has been taking months and months of us, like, considering doing. Well, we did it, and it's like, now what? Okay, the naivety of being a child, of, oh, it's gonna be so great. I'm up late at night thinking about this. It's not gonna feel like work. Well, it feels like work. And this idea of, oh, I'm gonna make all these passive streams of income. Well, maybe we have some roadblocks, and it's not quite as easy as we thought it was going to be. I never said it was going to be easy, Capricorn. These milestones, these downloads that the divine has asked us to pursue, is not going to be, it's not about the outcome. We're so used to hitting the top of the mountain. It's about the journey along the way. So Spirit is saying, tap into that higher mind vision of, what am I learning through this experience? Yes, it feels like work. Maybe I'm not maybe I don't think I'm as inspired. How do you get to that higher vibrational energy around, how do I look at this from an observer of, like, what am I learning from this? What is it that I actually like doing? This is maybe what I thought. Maybe that's not it. I did the action to get me out of point A, but now I need to go to point B, and here's all the things that isn't necessarily giving me that wonderful feeling of rainbows and butterflies that I thought it was going to be. Now we have in the final outcome here, or past potential outcome, King of Swords in reverse. So the King of Swords in the upright, for me, is first of all, it's air energy, okay? And the King is masculine energy. We have this bird here. Also, to me, a lot of times in this, particularly this deck, there's imageries of birds. You might have some synchronicity. Maybe you are seeing a bunch of birds. I don't know. But that to me is synchronicity, where Spirit is trying to talk to you right now. You're at a crossroads. You took a few steps forward, and now you're at that precipice. Do I need to turn around and go right back? And that's where this energy that you might be in right now, of maybe a little bit of regrets. And this is in reverse as well. So about being confident about the decision, about knowing what you want, about accepting. Also, there's a little bit of acceptance in the upright. I think we haven't quite accepted where we are today, and that it's not going to be as easy perhaps as we thought. But let's get some additional messages here from Spirit. Why is the King of Swords in the current outcome, or the potential outcome, messages from Spirit? I'll take a few messages. Anything else? Okay. We've got the bottom of the deck. We've got the Queen of Cups in reverse. Okay. In the upright position, this is very much, she knows when to dump a cup out, and she knows when she needs to fill it. Okay. It's in reverse right now. This is where we are, and then you also pull Judgment. So, in the Judgment in the upright position. So Judgment, this makes me feel good, is that, to me, this outcome is very malleable. Timelines are malleable, and I think that we need to own that. We need to own our power, take back our power. So the fact that Judgment is in the upright position is a very, it gives me a lot of hope around this story that's on my table today. What it's saying is, you have to use your own good judgment around what's next, but do not turn around, because what's done is done, and there is something that's on the table for you, but it's going to require a lot of continued courage, continued passion. And this Fox energy is really inviting you to look at things from a new perspective, about leaning on those around us to get us through the slog, the hard work, the setup, the change is hard. And it's not always easy, but what Spirit is saying is that, you know, to move this Queen of Cups, maybe because it's in reverse, in the upright position, I'm always like, she knows how to fill her cups and she knows how to dump them out when it's no longer serving her higher purpose. I think that there's more stuff that here, especially given that we have the King of Swords in reverse. If the King of Swords was in the upright, he knows exactly what he needs to give up in order to invite the new expansive energy in. It's in reverse. So I do think like those two combined, that air energy and that water energy combined, to me it's saying that in order to make the magic happen, we can't resist it. We need to continue to lean in. Even when the going gets tough. I'm getting right now, if you've ever been in a speedboat in a very choppy water and the waves are up and down. And, you know, we got the courage. We were like, I don't care. It's a moody sky, but I still want to take this ride. And we got into the boat and we're taking the ride. But all of a sudden, the boat is become very topsy-turvy. It's making us a little nauseous. We're starting to have regrets. So I really want to continue on this ride. I don't really know. I'm ready to, the shore is not too far back. I'm going to turn around. And as you start to turn around, because now you're sideways, if you kind of are sideways with the waves, now you really are feeling the ups and downs, and it's hard. But what Spirit is saying is if you turn that boat forward and you push the rudder as hard as it can go, as fast as it can go, straight in, that's how you have to go into this energy of whatever it is. You have to keep going. You can't give up. And the fears, the concerns that you have, if you go forward into the waves, yeah, you're going to feel the bump, but you're not going to feel this up and down where you feel almost as if the boat's going to capsize on you. And that's where I think you are right now. The boat might capsize. You're regretting it. You're wanting to turn around. Now is not the time to turn around. You have to lean on others around you. You have to be there for them as well. But keep going. This inspiration, it's going to come back. Even though you feel as if all of a sudden your inspiration, the money is not there, all of a sudden all of these doubts and fears and worries, the ego is like coming at you and throwing these, it's almost like I'm seeing an archer throwing these doubts, right? Sending these right to you, these thought forms that are negative energy. You need to see the higher purpose here. You're going on this journey. You have the power to keep going. So I'll leave it with that. So I would love to know if this is something you're going through in your career. Again, maybe it's a new project. You've taken on a new team. You're part of a new team. You quit your job and you're going to pursue something else that has been a passion project that you're ready to take to the next level, or you're ready for retirement. All of those has taken a lot of courage, and you've done the inspired action, and now is not the time to look back. It's the time to keep going, and it's about the journey, not about the destination. All right. With that, I'll leave it here. Thank you so much for being here, Capricorn. Again, if anything resonated, I would love a like or subscribe. And with that, love and light.